Contrary to the perception of the high-powered Washington lobbyist, I always thought that Jim Arbury not only offered a seasoned view, but most importantly, he was an institutionalist, understanding the realities of the request that was being made. I found myself in sync with him largely because I understood the role that housing plays, not only in stabilizing a community, but in providing opportunity. The other thing I liked about Jim was his temperament. I had as many good laughs listening to him as I did talking about any issue of the day.
I hear that my friend Jim is retiring, but the fact is that knowing that he's going to be around to continue to provide support for one of the most important priorities that we have legislatively, housing, gives me some comfort. There is nothing that we can expect to get in life that if you don't have shelter, that has to be a part of it. And that's what Jim has done. And so the smile on his face when I see him, I hope I won't have to miss it because there's a lot of work for us to do. But let me take this opportunity to thank him for his long-time service as a staffer, as an advocate, as a friend, but most of all as a supporter of apartment housing, which is so important for those of us who live in the cities.
Jim is a respected expert on housing legislation. He's been a sensible voice in the debates over America's housing policy and is admired on both sides of the aisle. That's rare these days. As a Washington tax policy veteran, Jim's opinions receive respect. I was particularly thankful for Jim's position during our debates on the estate tax. He was a lead voice in explaining the negative impact of eliminating stepped-up basis for inherited assets. Can you imagine what a mess that would have been? Aside from tax policy, Jim and I also share a passion for baseball. Jim, it's my sincere hope that your new role affords you the opportunity to make the ballpark a more regular priority.
I'm one of Jim's many friends, and I'm here to thank him for his good work and wish him well in the future. He's been a great influence for good in the housing industry, and he has a long history of distinguished public service up here. I've regarded him as a personal friend, a fine human being, a thoughtful and a careful and an ethical good leader. I wish him well. Thank him for his hard work.
Hello, Jim. Every time I saw you, you always had something constructive to tell me and were always so positive. And I just want to thank you for your service to our country. Obviously, you've done a great job, and I am going to miss seeing you as often as I have. Thank you for being a good friend. All the best to you.
I'm a lifetime admirer of Jim Arbury's because I have seen him and known him now for nearly 50 years. We started out together at the Harvard Business School back in the early 1960s. When I first met Jim at the Harvard Business School, I was in the doctoral program. Jim was finishing the MBA program, and I got the chance to leave the program at that time to go back to Flint, Michigan, run for Congress as a Republican. And Jim stepped up and was very supportive of my doing that. And as a matter of fact, he got so involved that he got an empty coffee can, and he went down in front of the Kresge Dining Hall on the Harvard Business School campus and started soliciting contributions. Jim managed to collect about 25 or 30 bucks that day in his coffee can and turn it over, and that was the first money that we ever raised politically. I've seen a lot of chiefs of staff in the Senate. There's never been one any better than you. I want to also mention your football career at Michigan State. It's typical of you to play down your role at that time when you were at Michigan State, saying you were the water boy. You were a lot more than the water boy. You were the manager of the football team at a time when the football team was really one of the best, if not the best, in the country. You helped me be a better person in public service and as a human being that I would have been had you not crossed my path. So all the best, my friend, and keep pedaling.
This is my first full day wearing this pin, and what I notice is that it gives me access anywhere I want to go. But years ago, I think it was probably over 25 years ago, I was working in Jim's office. The one thing I remember about Jim, and the reason why I'm here today, is that I always had access to him personally. It's something that I never forgot. Jim Arbury was a true public servant, and he showed that to me when he had no reason to impress me. He's just a good, decent human being.
Well, good morning, Jim. You're unique in terms of what you do in Washington, primarily not only because you're a lobbyist by a long shot, but because you have a certain personal relationship to the people you lobby. And I, for one, had the great pleasure of having that experience with you over the last, many years of my 26 years in the Congress. I was always honored when you campaigned for me in my district in a direct way, to brag about the fact that you are a quasi-constituent of mine because you have a home in Poconos in Pennsylvania, but most of all because you're such a warm man with high integrity. So thank you very much, Jim. We're going to miss you a little bit, but don't let us miss you entirely.
I had the honor and privilege of working with Jim in different capacities over the years, and he is a great guy, a wonderful mentor, and a wonderful friend. Jim has, at least in my early years of trying to understand the tax world, was able to give me some insight and guidance on all of the different members' personalities, and he knows more about the tax area than I'll probably ever want to know. As we all know, Jim's personality shines, and there's just so many different aspects of him that I think about and love about him, and wish him all the best in his next steps, and continue to be honored to be a friend and a colleague.
Jim's known for his conscientiousness, his dedication to his work, and equally his ability for friendship. And we've benefited in this office from both. And so I just want to say to you, a job exceptionally well done, and a friendship that has only deepened with time. And congratulations on all that you've accomplished.
Hello, everybody. It's a real pleasure to join in this tribute to our good friend Jim Arbury. He has so many accomplishments in promoting a balanced housing policy. It's not all work for Jim, though, however. He's an athlete, too, having biked thousands of miles each year, including 8,000 miles just last year. I will share a little-known fact about our good friend Jim. He knows all the words to Louie, Louie by the Kingsmen. Now that's real talent. Okay, Jim, I hope you'll sing your rendition of this classic soon. Good luck and best wishes, my good friend.